So I was talking about like disasters in the brewery. You mentioned you had a recirculating pump that kind of crapped out on you midday with your Brewzilla.
I
Was
got to
that the
put
story
this
you were?
yeast up real quick. It's
Oh,
about to
go
blow
for
on
it.
me.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
let me
want
get back
that.
in here. No, I heard that lid pop and I saw it come out and the fan's not coming off. So there,
Even better. I'm keeping that in. That's a great little
yeah, I
little.
thought it was a relay, and I'm like, no, it's
No, this thing's gonna blow. Yeah.
yep.
So my question was, you talk about a recirculation pump failed mid brew day with your Brewzilla. Was that what you were just talking about like a second ago, or was
So
that something
that
different?
so that was actually on the second Brazil that I had, and that one only lasted one batch. So the first Brazil I had, the pump failed. They sent another one, and that pump fell. Well, the pump fell on the first one, and my board burned out, and it all had to do with that where the cord connected to the unit. So on
Yeah.
my second one, I didn't even get one brew day in. I was brewing a Sierra Nevada clone, and so
Hmm.
the two beers that always give me trouble, no matter when I brew them, Sierra Nevada clone and the Bell's Two Hearted clone. And it's just every time I brew that, something
Really?
goes wrong. So, that day my recirculation pump died.
Hmm.
So I had to put it up on the freezer, and get my wort into a fermenter and let gravity. It was a pain.
But
It
you
ended
weren't
up what
able to salvage it though, right?
it wasn't the best beer though. It turned out way more bitter than it should have because isomer the bitter word I can't think of. It's the
Yeah.
I one, the isomer
Yes.
that one.
That isomerization.
That one right there,
Yeah.
yeah. But so I wasn't able to pull a lot of the citrus from that. I just got a lot of bitterness from the hops because the citrus just cooked off, and so it just wasn't that.
No, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I don't have any pumps with my systems yet. I thought about it. Thought about adding one like a couple different times, but it's also like, do I want one extra thing to clean? I
Mhm.
don't know if I want one more thing to clean like quite yet. Well, like so, yeah, that had to be terrifying when the first Brazilla cord just kind of melted on you. Like, were you close by when that happened, or you just happened to walk by it? What does that smell?
Well, it wasn't that I didn't know until the end of the brew day, so I went to
Oh,
unplug it from the
wow.
wall, and then
Hmm.
I unplugged the plug from the wall. And the Brazillas, the Gen 4s, don't have an on-off switch. You just unplug it from the wall, and that's what I always do. So I unplugged it from the wall, and I went to unplug the cord from the unit. It was essentially fused in place, so I had to wiggle it off, and I looked, and there was a huge burn mark, and it's always the same
Mm.
prong, and I can't. I want to say it's the left prong, but it's the one that connects to the white and blue wire that goes to the board. And
Hmm.
ask me how I know because I had to undo that so many times. So,
Wow.
but the fix for it that I've run into, and I know a lot of people are hardwiring there, is just to use a heavier gauge PC cord on that
Hmm.
unit, something so you don't to cut down on that resistance where that connection is. And
Oh,
I've been using
makes
that
sense.
cord. Yeah, it's like a 15 gauge cord or something like that. I've been using that now for a year and a half, and I haven't had any issues with that. So
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that would freak me out a little bit too. I think one nice thing because I'm up in Tennessee, so I'm not too far from you overall, but I still get cold. I get snow, right? So during the winter months, it would be nice to have like an electric system because it is a pain in the butt to try to fight in my garage when it's 50 degrees and wrapping it with like two different blankets, trying to keep it nice and warm, and it's just a pain in the butt. So another disaster that you mentioned was I have a hard time saying this word as well, but chlorophenols.
chlorophenols, yes.
Yes.
So yeah, I fought that for about a year, and I was going to the brewers at McGuire's, and bringing these beers. We're trying to figure out where in my process am I getting this? Is it an infection? What's going on here? So I ended up writing the water company here, and come to find out, they're using chloramines in the water. And so no matter how much filtering I'm doing, even RO, which I've got an RO machine across the street that I use, that would get down to like 1 TDS or something like that, but still wasn't pulling those chloramines out. So I started using Campton, no issues, ever since. And so I just any water that touches my beer, even when it comes to the sanitizer, gets Campton. Everything gets Campton.
All right, I guess better be safe than sorry for sure. And it's fairly cheap solution too, right? Overall, so,
Yeah,
especially after throwing oil brewer away.
yeah. There's actually, again, like I said, it's weird how things worked out. So a brewery opened up across the street from me, about 6 houses down, and I was talking to Brew before they opened up, and
Mm,
he got a water report. And our water here is essentially bare. I mean, on a bad day, might pull like 32, 35 TDS unfiltered. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
crazy salt here. And I told him, I said, man, I know you're using RO and your setup out there, but I said, make sure you're using Campton. I said, because they do use chloramines out here. I said, I haven't had any way to get rid of it. Some of the brewers, their approach, I know in Pensacola, is to, I want to say they heat up their water to like 180 and let it sit overnight to drop all the minerals out and things like that. But
Mhm.
I haven't had much luck with any of that, so I just use Campton. It's instant, and I'm good.